satisfaction. Come drink the source. Life, action, reaction. Come to the source. Drink life and get satisfaction. Come drink the source. Life, action, reaction. Come to the source, drink life, and get satisfaction. Come to the source, drink life, and get satisfaction.
Hello, everybody. This is Pat, and all around me you see the Fine Liquids community. And today we are streaming from several places from all over the world. Just to let you know, this live stream is a live stream where we drink water together, special water from Switzerland, and we do this together as water sommeliers. So I think that's very unique. And if you want to learn more about water, stay here and listen and enjoy the show. So, hello everybody. I want to invite everybody here in this live stream to taste the sip of Switzerland. I really felt in love with that water for a long time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Really hard on it.
So for everybody who is now wondering, what are they doing? Yeah, just drinking water. How can they do that? Yeah, you do that. You do that also. You do that too. But you know, when it comes to a very very beautiful water with a wonderful taste, um, it's something else. It's not the same. It's not just like drinking tap water or a all-day driver. So when it comes to all-day driver water or fine dining water, I want to ask you, Michael. I know that this water made some medals at the Fine Water Summit, and I want to ask you. I think you invited these Fine Water Summit. How does that water can get a medal? What is so special about that?
So before we even go to the taste, I want to say that it's so much more than taste. If you look at this bottle and if you touch the bottle, and I've seen you guys touch the bottle, you immediately have the sensation of value. I think that's also a significant part of the brand and of the presentation. And if we have one topic here for this conversation here, I also want to move even a little bit further beyond the taste and also take other elements into consideration when we value water. But for the taste, I really enjoyed the water. I think it won awards at the last tasting. And Pat, you have been there as a sommelier and as a judge in the water tasting. It is very appealing. It has the TDS is around 200, I believe. So it has a very appealing general feeling to the water. And the water is fairly hard, in my opinion, but it doesn't feel as hard. I think it feels very nice, very round. It feels much softer than the numbers would suggest. And I recently was at a water tasting and a food and water pairing in New Zealand. And I ate one of the dishes and I had immediately the feeling, oh, this would be perfect for Sembrancher. So love the water and curious to hear what you guys are thinking.
I can definitely see in a restaurant, like Luca was saying before, with master chefs and like very high-end restaurants, the bottle looks amazing and it's super, the design is very nice, but also the taste, as he said, it's soft, especially for the still one, so you can pair it with a lot of dishes.
straight away the value that I get is like you picking it up. You're already feeling. You have the expectations of something special. Like you already got that set in your mind. And that's how it feels like when you're pouring it, when you're touching it in the glass. It's like, and the way it coats the tongue and through the balance there, and like it's the same as what Mike said. It does work well with a lot of different dishes. And Silvia said the same. It can be. I think it will fit a lot of style of foods, but also contrast a lot of other foods as well. So it's like one of those waters that's very versatile because it does taste a lot lighter than in the bottle. So it's got that experiences in there. So it's a really interesting water.
Yeah, I'd say definitely the glass, high quality. But you know what I really love? It just shows off the water. And I would call it like a crayon style font going across, which you actually feel along your hand, which looks really nice. High quality glass, shows off the water. Yeah, I would say the design of it, you know, you've got the Swiss stamp on it, which just immediately demonstrates quality. Like, you know, you see a lot of Swiss products, so it's definitely bringing that element to it. It taste wise, I thought it was going to be slightly lighter for me, based on the TDS. However, looking at it, I guess the calcium levels at 47 in comparison to the magnesium. But I think maybe the high bicarbonate at 158 gives it a little bit more weight. But a beautiful water. When I drink this, I genuinely have this imagination of rocks of those Swiss Alps. Like, you really sort of have that sort of taste sensation from it. It is a soft water. It's very pleasant. It's not overpowering. Yeah, it's a great package.
Yeah, so for me, when I drink this water, it's super soft, and I know what you mean, Milin, when you say you can feel the rocks. So it gives a good feeling drinking that natural version. But you know, Sembrancher comes natural and it comes with that sparkling version. And for me, Sembrancher is one of the rare brands which can do that. And the sparkling version is so near to the natural one. And this is what I really love. So when you're drinking the sparkling version, you don't have bubbles in the face and think, oh yes, that's a sparkling water. No, you directly know that's Sembrancher, but the sparkling one. And on top, this kind of gentle fizz we have in the sparkling version is super cool for your body and for your stomach. So when you are drinking Sembrancher over a fine dining event for maybe 2, 3, 4 hours, you will fall in love with that water because it fits here, it fits there, it's good for you. So, and this is what I really love about. And yes, I love that ceramic printing too, for sure.
Very light, elegant.
But I also noticed, sorry, I was saying what I also noticed when I drink it, I agree with you guys, the water feels very soft, and it's not from the pH. The pH is fairly neutral. The water feels much softer than I would expect it just looking at the analysis. And just coming back from drinking a lot of water from the Pacific Rim waters that have a high silica content. It almost feels like there's silica, but I've looked at the analysis that was made available to me, and I don't see any silica on it. So I wanted to ask Luca, do you have a complete analysis? Do you know the silica is zero, or is there a silica content in the water that gives it a softness?
Yes, I have. It's not available. Maybe during our connection, I can check. I have the complete analysis. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
everybody around the room, take a guess at what you potentially would think the silica content is. And Luca, you can get back to us, and maybe you could fit this in at the end, Pat, when it goes live. I am going to go with I would say between 8 and 10.
I would go much higher. I think it's
Yeah.
not
I'd go
80,
much higher.
but I think it's 30 would be my
30.
guess.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say 20 to 30 after drinking a lot of the waters from New Zealand and Australia, which is quite high in silica. So I'm used to the silica feel. It's probably 20 to 30. Yeah.
So Darren, you also have the feeling it's silica in that it gives it a softness, right?
It does. It does. Well, I was just drinking the Antipodes this morning, so so it's I Fiji Antipodes all the time. It's like it's in the backyard here, so I understand how it feels to silica. So yeah,
Yeah, that's my feeling. I've been drinking Antipodes for the last week or so, and I drank this.
Why not? Why not? It's beautiful. Yeah. But this is, I think, yeah, between 20 to 30, maybe.
So if you drink sparkling after the still version, so you can see what carbonation is doing with water. So it's the sour touch, it's lemon touched, and that's the same like Icelandic. It's also doing the same like this one.
Yeah, I think you notice the pH is definitely under 7, probably 6.5 or something like this. And you notice the huge difference. But with the little bubbles, it makes it very, very interesting for some dishes where you want to have a little bit of contrast, both with the acidity and the bubbles.
I think for both versions, so, the still and the sparkling, mouthfeel is a key word for the brand.
It's refreshing.
Yeah,
it is, and it does give you the really nice cool feel to the water too. And it has. This is my opinion, but I think it does have a good balance of calcium and magnesium, in my opinion.
Yeah,
keeping them. Yeah, so I think that's kind of where the good, nice, smooth texture comes. And having that kind of low sodium also kind of keep that nice, smooth taste to it.
Yeah, it's interesting what you said about the water feels cool. That's something Martin Riese uses a lot when he tastes Antipodes. He also said the water feels cooler than it actually is. And we think it's the silica. So maybe what you're talking about also makes a reference to that there might be some silica in it.
Yeah, I do agree. I think, I'm not thinking too high as 30, but somewhere between 10 to 15.
Well, I'm wondering why we don't have these content in text. So Luca could not answer that. I just took a look into fine liquids on Sembrancher, and we don't have it over there too. So
yeah, it was probably not checked on the box when you make an analysis. We're not testing.
Luca, send me a sample. I can get it tested for you.
is silica like a common mineral in Europe? Or
No, it's
not.
not. It's not. It's
Not
Pacific
from
Rim.
that region.
I thought
It has
so,
a volcanic it's a connection to volcanic activity. That's why it's in the
Yeah.
Pacific Rim, the Ring of
Yeah.
Fire. This is where the silica mostly comes from. So I think I'm probably wrong with 30 because it would be very unusual to have a mineral water in
Yeah.
Europe with a 30.
The only place in Europe is from the Azores, the Portuguese Azores, that we would have any style of silica content water like Magnificat, which is, I think, 84 milligrams a litre. And that's very distinctive with natural carbon, very light, effervescent natural carbonation.
Yeah.
But Mother Nature has surprises. So I'm super interested because I think we've all agreed this is my first experience of the water. There is that soft smoothness to it. So yeah, interesting.
And if the analysis show there's no silica, then we know the analysis must be wrong because we must
Exactly.
be right.
We are trained sommeliers. We've been drinking plenty of water and a huge variety of waters. So yeah, but it's interesting though how look, you can never have that 100% of just looking at analysis until you experience the water. It creates a totally different experience. So it's interesting. It's very interesting, this water. I was surprised. A nice surprise. And that's what it's all about.
yeah. So when we come back to the sparkling version, this is it's just like sweets for me. something very special. It's something where I'm looking forward to open a bottle of sparkling version of Sembrancher. What does happen when you drink that? Maybe you think that's crazy, but all in all, it's citric. It's a bit bitter, not bitter, sour and sweet. And so this combination of everything with that tiny bubbles makes me stunning. I love that. And most of the time, I always have the feeling some of the waters, sparkling waters, are not composed very well. So sometimes I think that brands just bring bubbles into, and now they say, okay, but there are bubbles in, so it's sparkling. Done. We are through with it.
It's right, Pat. Like Evian sparkling is probably, well, in my opinion only, it's probably the worst thing ever. It's so overpowering. There's no finesse to it. I know they've got a effervescent version, but this definitely ticks the box of a nice, elegant carbonation, which is very versatile for the dinner table to explore dishes, not overpowering, not huge. And it just contemplates the bottle, the design, the region, and what it stands for. So I know it sounds a bit out there, but just finesse of the bubbles creates a very nice experience.
I like it that they also put it on the bottle, like finely sparkling.
Yeah, and it already gives you, already engages of, okay, this is what I'm going to expect, or it helps you make the right choice of food or, you know, that experience that you want to achieve. So yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Yes, the finally sparkling is our it was our strategy because we think that it's you know, sometimes with a lot of gas you lost the taste of the water, but finally sparkling, it's still good, and also it's appreciated on the fine dining. This is our choice.
Luca, can I ask, what was that criteria of? You must have been tasting so many versions of carbonation for your water. What was that criteria that you were looking for to get that bubble just right, that you and your team were happy with?
I repeat, I'm not a chemical or
oh no, I'm not asking
in the
for
production.
what was the sensation that you wanted to achieve?
Yes, we think that that this water is delicate, no?
Yeah.
Also, it's delicate in the taste, and we replace this our feeling also on the design, delicate design of the water to respect our taste and our feeling. That's why also the choice to have finally sparkling is following the line, the strategy. Okay.
Do you know?
It's
do you know how many milligram CO2 you have per liter? Or how many grams? Sorry, how many gram?
Milligram of?
How many gram of CO2 do you put in the water?
No.
Okay.
That will be revealed with the silica content. Stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned.
My guess is three. My guess is 3 gram per liter.
3 grams. All right.
Okay.
So these are the questions. These are the questions of the water sommeliers. But my question would be, where can I get access to your water? So I know Switzerland got a lot of amazing sources, but not that special water market. And so I'm interested in, let me know, where do you serve that water? Just in Europe, and where in Europe? And do you also provide that water in other countries?
Yes, for sure. Sembrancher started the export of the water. By the way, in Switzerland, no one is exporting water because Switzerland is not UA, it's not Europe, so there is some different procedure in the custom, and sometimes. But anyway, this is not the problem. I don't know, this strategy also for the water factory in Switzerland. I don't know. To be honest, we start on 2023, so it's not 1 year, but in less than 1 year we start to sell. Okay, around in we start to sell in UK. We start to sell in Italy, in Germany, in Monte Carlo, in France, in US. We have a lot of negotiating in GCC countries and Morocco. So we just started the export, and we had very good results. Some of our customers, the last orders that I received, it's unusual, but I received from wine distributors.
It's a very good point. And I just made a note here before. We were also talking, this water is very good in the restaurants, and what kind of food would work with the water. And of course, it would be the subtle, fish dishes with not so much power, more subtle dishes. Then I think the water would also be good for desserts because of the softness. Maybe desserts, not chocolate-based, but this more creamy desserts, maybe even some fruit desserts. I think it would be good. But what the water would really shine also is with wine. People make so many mistakes when they order wine in a restaurant. You order a $500 bottle of wine, and then worst case scenario, you drink tap water with it, and you have chlorinated tap water next to your 500 bottle of wine. We just did a test like this in New Zealand, and it completely destroys the taste of the wine. Even professional wine sommeliers are amazed how much influence the water has on wine. And the other mistake you could make, you drink your San Pellegrino with it, which is way too overpowering. The bubbles also completely destroys the taste, brings out the tannins in red wine, reduces the fruit in white wines. But a water like this with the softness, this pH and around that kind of TS would be really ideal with wine. So I would suggest focus on water and wine pairings as well. Make chefs and sommelier aware how different their wine tastes when you drink this water versus other waters.
Yeah. I would like to say, for those that don't drink wine, what I would definitely pair this water with, because of the carbonation level and softness. And like me, I'm not huge into alcohol. Water, yes. But a fruit salad, and this is what I've been doing at home with friends and family, is getting some really beautiful exotic fruits of high quality and biting into the fruits with a sip of a suitable water. And together, the carbonation level, the softness of the water, it allows the gentle bubbles to work through the fruit and give it a bit of a soda feel, but then also it just expands on the flavor of the fruit and gives the other dimension of the bubbles and the fruits working together. And this is something that I share with friends and families, my children. When I've got people over, we have this experiment of carbonation of fresh, high quality fruits, even like lychees, would work very well. So it's just a personal experience I would like to share, but it's a healthy one. And just an interesting fact I just wanted to share as well. So the backstory of Sembrancher is about cavities and teeth cavities. Okay, so I was at the dentist on Monday, and he goes, "Oh wow, why don't you have so many cavities?" I go, "Well, brush my teeth, I floss, I don't drink soda." And I was just looking at the backstory of the website that this water was actually found on Louis Lude in 1920. He'd done some tests of the children in the village, and they were having less cavities than others. So that's I don't know. I just found it very interesting. I thought I'd share that with the audience. Like,
Yeah, cool. But Milling, coming back to this idea with the fruit pairing,
yeah,
I really like this idea because this is what makes all day a bit more beautiful, and this is what I think makes life more of it. I don't know if that's correct said,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that when you make the moments of life which are normal, when you give them a kind of attraction, it's wonderful. And then when you can pair a fruit with a good sparkling water, you definitely understand what that means.
yeah. So, like, genuinely, like, and I would recommend trying this with different styles of carbonated waters. But what I'm finding, and the best test is like with children, like genuinely, like I could get some high mineral content waters or even medium mineral content waters, natural carbonation, and allow them to have the experience of the fruit and the water together with the carbonation. And I've even heard kids go, "Oh wow, this tastes better than Fanta," and it's just how the minerals extract a bit more sweetness and the carbonation plays. And hey, if they're turning around having a natural, beautiful water with a piece of fruit, and it's giving them that sensation of a sugary drink, which hey, who doesn't enjoy them?
Well,
Yeah, let's be
It's
honest.
perfect. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's a really good idea, and it shows what we are doing here as water sommeliers. We're not hydrating people. We're giving people an experience. And as we've discovered, if you touch this bottle, you open it, pour it in a nice glass, this gives you an experience, and you completely move away from the boring idea that you just have to hydrate you. You move to an experience. And we all know that water is healthy. It's healthy for the things that are in there. But I really enjoyed what Milin was saying. What is also healthy for the things you don't drink when you drink water? And especially with kids, it's the sodas that kids don't drink and they drink water instead that has some significant health benefits. And I talked to a lot of people that have done that, and they're so happy that the kids off soda and now drinking water.
Yeah, it's kids and adults. Everyone's trying to kick it or reduce the intake of it. You know, I've known people that drink 12 cans a day, but given that experience of like, okay, you love fizz, you love carbonation, you love a fruity taste, or you want that sensation, mix it up a bit and enjoy.
Yeah, but I think it's also so much more. Sorry, I was saying it's so much more what you just said. It's the experience. When you have a can, you open the can, you hear the zip of the can, you touch the can, pouring it in. It's much more than just the hydration from the can. You have the experience around it. And if you can do the same thing with water and introduce people to the concept with water, I think they understand that water can be a perfect replacement for all those sodas, and in many cases for wine, as we've seen.
Definitely. I was just going back on that. Just going back on that. I'm just thinking dried fruits would be really good with this, like a dried persimmon or something, or have the prunes and persimmon or dried apricots, or even the goji berry. Like these sort of dried fruits has got natural sweetness of being a dried fruit, and along with this, so just the carbonation is going to be really good. If you want to excite it a bit, have a bit of cheese with it as well. But like those dried fruits with the quince is going to be so good with this water, I think.
What do you think about coffee and this water?
Coffee, I wouldn't brew coffee with it, but I think next to the coffee, it'll be really good.
This water, sorry, I like an espresso. Then this, perfect. Not overpowering. It would just lift that. What do you call that, Darren? Anyway, what is that layer of like coffee scum? You enjoy the coffee, but then on the tongue, on the palate, you're like, ah.
It's because the old tradition, it's all done through old tradition Italian espressos, which are horrible. It's like
Okay.
it's done with low quality coffee to hook it back, and then that's why they have those big crazy carbonation to go with it to wash it away, because it's not a pleasant drink. And if you have a good quality espresso, you don't need the invasion of the carbonation. You can have something delicate that works together with it. So like
Okay.
this would be good with a good espresso, but not with a bad espresso.
Right.
It's like
I'm booking
yeah.
my flight. I'm coming over to yours for a proper espresso. Yeah. That's
Well, I mean-
fascinating. That's absolutely fascinating, because when I'm drinking coffee, I'm always trying to pair with a water, and it's always been that focus of flavor profile of the coffee to discover. But I've always had it in my head, like, I need to get rid of this layer of just gack from the coffee.
Try to go like I don't often use sparkling water for my coffees. I depending on the coffee, most of the time I think still water is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, sparkling water
Thank you.
depends on the type of espresso, but most of
Right.
the time you can get away with like the still version of this will be great with an espresso, with a nice Costa Rican or something, a nice fruity espresso, like something fruity, got the aromas there. You don't want to kill the natural aromas from the coffee.
Ah, okay. I've been doing it all wrong. I've just been drinking real low quality coffee.
Yeah, well, possibly low quality coffee, because Europe's got the highest quantity of lower grade coffee in the world.
I think so.
Right. I'm leaving Europe then. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
go to South Korea. It's all over in South Korea. They buy all the good stuff over there.
Right. We're going to Hane's house. Okay. Cool.
So I also think fruits are also a very good pairing, but some cake, some brownie can also used with the sparkling one. I think so. So the bitterness of the chocolate and the sweet sourness of the water is also good pairing. I think so. Also like salads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And
some
I
ice
do
cream,
agree
some ice
too.
cream.
So the fruits. So I really like what Milin mentioned, pairing with the fruits, with the sparkling water, for this kind of thing. I think the sparkling water, the acidicness, kind of uplifts the heartfulness of the fruits. So I think that's where kind of nice synergy comes in with the fruit and sparkling water, in my opinion. So I think it really works well.
So I also think the sparkling one can be used as an aperitif for the starting evening. So some is drinking some champagne or some prosecco, and who don't like alcohol, so can use this water also.
Yeah, it's a good idea to use sparkling water like this. You know, we haven't mentioned, but I assume we're all drinking the water currently at room temperature, right? But if you do an aperitif, and I've tried this many times, I would chill the water a little bit, because then it gets you a little bit of champagne feeling, because you expect the champagne thing, and part of the champagne experience is the temperature, not only the bubbles. So if you chill the water a little bit for this, because you have the water alone, it doesn't compete with any kind of food or just a small canopy, then I think it's a good idea to chill the water a little bit for the champagne experience if you use it as an aperitif.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just quick question to Luca. How long is the journey of this water before it emerges, like the vintage of it?
I think you're muted, Luca.
Sorry, I didn't understand. May you repeat the question?
Yes, of course. How old is the water before it emerges at the spring, like the vintage of the water?
This is the water is flowing inside the rocks around 50 meters
Okay.
to depth, and is captured naturally without any crashing, pumping, just piping, but without any kind of human intrusion. Okay.
Okay.
So very, very, very naturally.
But do
Okay.
you know how old the water is? Do you know how old? Have you tested the water, how old the water is when it was rained the last time?
The origin or
No, the age of the water. How old is the water?
5,000 years, 10,000 years.
is the origin maybe 1,000 years, but the people start to use the source to drink what the information that we have and is certified. This is from 1,235.
1239, yeah.
This
And
this
I
is
understand
the
it's artesian water, right? So the water is artesian. It's
Yes.
under pressure and comes out on its own.
yes.
Yeah, I understand.
So I think that's also a really significant distinction from, a pollution point of view, the outward pressure, and all those kind of
Yeah.
things. But it also, in these times of sustainability, where this sustainability will become an important word, I have the feeling we can say that the water is given to us and not taken. If you drill a hole and you pump something, then you take it. But if you have an artesian water, the water is given to you.
Yeah.
And so that makes a significant difference also in the storytelling about the water.
And
When
and
you
I think,
sit at the table, this water is given to you and not taken.
and I think also, Michael, with especially across the US and other areas of overusing of groundwater, I've been working with quite a few groundwater specialists in regards to boreholes and mapping with Columbia Science in regards to the amount of water, in states and across the world, of how much water is being pumped for bottled water. It's minimal in regards to like agricultural use, etc. But
Yeah.
it's I think you hit the nail on the head in regards to it's given to you, then you are taking a resource and extracting it at mass quantities with no regard for the aquifer recharging. So again, another premium element, another experience of Mother Nature giving something back for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
But
Very
in
nice.
regards to the question of how old is that water, so most of the time the waters from the Alps are not so old as in other regions of the world, because the rain comes down to the top of the mountain, finds its way into the mountain, and it is a geological question where it stops and then it comes out. So sometimes a water from the Alps is not longer inside the mountain than 10 years up to 15 years. It's a very short time for a water. And when you see at the mineralization, you also see, okay, there is not so much inside. So when you look at a water just like Three Bays, which is taking hundreds of years to go its way, this water takes mineralization more and more and more.
Yeah, I'd say maybe at least 20, 25 years, around that maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say any more, but look, I'm just putting it out there, but
Yeah.
everything will be revealed.
Yeah.
Everything
All
will
right.
be revealed. I'm going with 50. I'm going with 50 years.
50? Okay.
But it does not matter.
Anybody
That
else?
water, that water really tastes so great to me. I don't mind silica. I don't mind age. I don't mind all of that. When I found a water like Sembrancher, I'm satisfied. I'm so happy. And what I also wanted to say, because we talked about wine and fruit and don't drink stuff like wine, I like doing fine dining without alcohol. And the reason is I can't drink so much. So when I'm in a restaurant and I got a glass of wine to every dish, that's too much for me. Half a glass too much for me. So what I do is I just take a water like that and I enjoy this evening. And sometimes wine really elevates the dish but sometimes water also elevates the dish. And Sembrancher is one of the waters which do that in its style, in its attitude, in its taste. Yeah, that's what I like about that water. So I think we have to close this live stream in the next minutes. Sometimes I'm really wondering how these 1 hour, how these 60 minutes disappear like nothing. So how can we talk 1 hour about water? We can, and we could talk so much more and so much longer. And for the audience
Just a
outside,
quick question.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Saint Bernard's, the Saint Bernard stocks. I would love to know how they prefer this water than any other. Because I saw a beautiful Saint Bernard on the website, and I was like, wow.
The dog.
Yeah. There was a beautiful Saint Bernard on your website, and I was like, this is the water the dog will enjoy 100%. And is there rum or brandy in his flask, or is it this? Is this what really helps? Or is it brandy?
If it's not freezing, my friend.
Very true.
Ice cubes.
One more. I have to tell you one more. It's okay? Time?
Yeah,
I
go
want
for
to
it.
tell short the South Korea's trend. This cat, this kind of cat, could be rejected by the South Korean fine dining industry because it is hard to open for normal people or the not educated the waiter. It is very difficult, and the South Korea is the long shipment, so it is can be change its quality. So the many waters with this kind of cat, fine dining restaurant don't want this cat.
Yes.
Because
I can answer you. I can answer you, Kim. This is a choice also that we did for to maintain the line. Okay, is it only is it we can use any cap. For example, if we start to export in Korea, we can change the cap, but the other caps are little bit are not so slide like this and so thin that is not destroying the line the bottom. There are the other caps with plastic inside with the facilities to open, but is a little bit fat. And we didn't like, but we can do. And also we have in a factory this kind of caps because sometimes some customer wants bottled by different cup. It's not a problem.
okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think we should come to an end before Google quits that for us. I want to thank you for participating once again in this live stream, and I'm very excited that so many people are here together from all around the world. I think that's unique, and unique also is your water, Luca, and I think this creates awareness, and this is what I really deserve to do. I want to create awareness for the people. It's not about the water sommelier. Thank
Cheers.
you all.
Ciao, cheers.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.